Are you worried about competition with your no-code app? Are you worried about keeping your idea a secret so that nobody can steal your app idea? Or are you worried because someone has already launched an app that's kind of similar to yours, so you're thinking maybe you don't need to build your app or maybe you shouldn't build it? Are you worried that just talking about your app idea is going to cause someone else to replicate it or launch it sooner than you? Whatever it is, if you're worried about competition with your no-code app, this is the video for you. Now, make sure you stick around until the end because I want to tell you the most important thing that you should be doing right now with your app when it comes to competition. But there are a few things that we need to talk about before we get there. Now, first, if you're new around here, my name is Kristen, and I'm the co-founder of Coaching No Code Apps. And we help business owners and industry experts build custom apps to either start their app-based businesses or grow their existing businesses, all without coding and no technical background required. Now, a lot of people come into this space. A lot of people come into the business space just in general, and they're worried about competition. And first of all, I totally get it. This is such a normal human response when you are building something or thinking about building something or launching something. Seeing others around you doing similar things, or even just having conversations where you are revealing your thoughts or maybe some research or whatever it is, it can feel really intimidating or like it's a really risky thing to be doing. But there are three things that I want you to think about. And I want you to try to reframe this and actually look at competition in a beneficial way for your no code app. Now, I know that sounds counterintuitive, but stick with me here. So, the first thing I want you to think about is that competition can actually be a really great source of validation for your app. Now, a lot of people build apps and they have no idea whether anyone needs or wants a solution like the one that they are creating. And they go and they hide away in secret and they build the app, they build a full scope app before they ever talk to anyone about it. And then they launch it and sometimes they realize that nobody really wants it. Nobody needs the app. And that's no fun because that's a lot of wasted time, potentially a lot of wasted money and resources. In reality, if you have competition, it means that there's a need for the type of solution that you're building. It means that there's a demand in the market. It means that people need people need your app, and that's a really good thing. So, if you're the type of person, and again, this is totally normal and understandable, but if you're the type of person who thinks, you know, if there are existing apps out there, there's no point in me building mine. Or someone else just launched an app that's kind of similar to mine. Ugh, now I have to start over. Now I have to think of something new. If that is your thought process, then know that competition can really benefit you because it acts as a ton of validation that a lot of people move forward without, and then it ends up hurting them later on. So that's the first reframe that I want you to do. Now, the second one is that just like it provides a lot of validation for you, it also provides a lot of data points for you. Now, if you have worked with us or if you've watched any of our videos, you know that we really, really value data, statistics, feedback, because everything you do is really an assumption. It could be a really good assumption, it could be a really good guess, but it's still an assumption or a guess until you've validated it or until you've gotten feedback or until you've gotten data of some sort. And every single thing we try to do, not just with our app's technical development, but with our messaging, with our marketing, with our user research, with conversations we're having, everything we do, we try to get feedback. We try to get data because that is what helps you create a product that people need and want. Now, if you have competition, the competition itself is a really great opportunity for you to learn more about the market, about your potential users, about what they really like, about what maybe they don't really like, or maybe about what they're lacking. It can help you identify holes in the market or gaps in the existing solutions that are out there. You don't want to just go and copy an app, right? Feature for feature. There can be lots of really similar apps out there, but each one does a different thing. And because of those existing solutions or those alternative solutions that are already out there, you can go and see exactly what people are saying about them. You can talk to their users. That those users are your potential target market. You can start getting feedback before you ever even have a product, and that is so valuable. And so if you have competition and you're kind of scared from it or hesitant about it or whatever, it's totally normal, but try to use it to your advantage because it's a really great opportunity. Now, the third thing I want you to think about, and this one is probably a little bit more prevalent even than the ones before, but a lot of people want to create their app in secret, right? I kind of touched on this already a little bit, but a lot of people want to keep it under wraps. They want to, put a bunch of contracts in place, before they've even created any version of the product. Their first focus is on just keeping it a secret. Now, again, I totally understand this, but this is a really big reframe that I want you to try to make if this is you. If you are building an app, it should be for something that you have a certain level of knowledge about. Why are you building the app that you are building? We talk about this a lot too. You have to be bringing something to the table. If you're just building a completely random idea that, for a market or an industry that you have no knowledge of, no experience with, no context and nothing, why are you building it? Why are you the one building that app? Okay, probably what's actually happening is you are building an app for an industry in which you have experience or knowledge of. It's solving a problem that you yourself have a lot of knowledge of, right? You have likely some level of expertise within the industry or the market that you're creating your app for. Now, what that means is that the features of your app, those might not be all that hard to replicate, right? You can go and look at any product out on the market and you can replicate features, feature for feature. You can just copy it. But what you can't copy is your knowledge, your experience, your insight, your expertise, your contacts, your connections, whatever it is, whatever the reason is that you are the one building this app. That's what you can't copy. And so, when you keep your app idea a secret because you're worried that someone is going to steal it, the question I have for you is, if it's that easy for someone to replicate the passion you have, the expertise you have, your knowledge, right? Your motivation. If it's that easy for someone to replicate all of that, then why are you the one building it? Right? This is a really big reframe, but it's an important one. And this brings us back to one of the most important things you can be doing right now. Whether you're still in development of your first version or whether you've launched your app or you're testing it, whatever it is, one of the most important things you can be doing right now is having conversations about your app. Now, if you're worried about someone stealing your idea and you're keeping your app a secret, this is going to be really hard. But if you can start having conversations with people about your app, the amount of traction that you are able to build can just simply compound over and over and over again in a number of different ways too. You can start having conversations with potential users of your app, with your target market or segments of your target market. You can start talking to them about the problems they're experiencing and the solution that you want to provide. You can start getting feedback and even more validation, right? And if you already have the validation, then start getting feedback on the different ways in which you can best provide this solution, or the things that would make this solution better than any existing alternatives out there. And beyond just with your potential users, start having conversations with people who can help you too. This is a really big one. There are so many people out there who are able to help you, but not if you can't have a conversation about your app. And again, I totally get this, but one of the reasons why I emphasize this one so much is because we ourselves at Coaching No Code Apps, we help entrepreneurs take their apps from that idea stage to being able to bring on those first test users and their beta users, and start rolling out the app. And some people, they want to have a conversation with us to see if they might be a good fit to join us as well, but it's hard for them to talk about their app. And we're over here thinking, gosh, we think we can really help you, but we're just not sure, because what are you building, right? And it's so important, and not just from the standpoint of getting help building your app, or getting help from a team like ours, but again, just in general, talking about your app can just give you so much gained insight from potential users, from teams like ours, or just from people who are just wanting to help, because there are a lot of people out there who just want to help you and who just want the best for you, right? And I know that there are also people out there who are looking to, unfortunately, do something like, find an idea and try to steal it and whatever. But that just takes me back to that initial question of, why are you building the app, right? What expertise do you have? What knowledge do you have? What industry experience do you have? What passion and motivation do you have? It's so hard to replicate that. It is so hard to replicate that. I've had conversations with people in the past, and they don't really want to share too much about their app idea, because they feel the need to be really secretive. They're a little bit hesitant. And I'm like, I have no idea about anything that happens in the industry that you're building your app for. Some of the words you're saying, I've never even heard them before, right? So think about it like that. You have such a high level of knowledge on what you're building. It's hard to replicate that. So again, if you're worried about competition, this is totally normal. You are far from alone, but try to reframe it and use it to your advantage, because the most important thing you can be doing right now is talking about your app. It's going to get you earlier feedback, earlier insights. It's going to get you more and more and more help as you go. And that's just going to help you build quick traction. But aside from that, having competition, it gives you that extra validation. It gives you those existing data points that you don't have to go out and try to come up with yourself, right? They are there for you. You can go out and find even more information to help you build a better product. So keep that in mind. Try to reframe that. And I hope this is helpful for you. Now, if you are wanting, if you are one of those entrepreneurs who's wanting to go from that idea stage to having a scalable, reliable first version of your app that's customized for your users, for your market, to go along with your expertise, if you want help with that, we work with a small group of entrepreneurs, and we take them through our process that takes them to that stage, and we work directly with them in a really hands-on, intensive way. So if you want to learn more about whether that would be the right fit for you as well, You can head to coachingnocodeapps.com/apply and schedule a free strategy call. And then you'll fill out a short form with some information to help us gauge whether we can help you. And this is what I was talking about just a minute ago. But you'll fill out that form and then we'll take it from there. So you can head to coachingnocodeapps.com/apply if you're interested in that. But regardless, again, I hope this is a helpful reframe as you move forward. It's a really beneficial way of thinking. All right, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.